applications till February, but it's just for kind of the thing we're talking about. Like if you have an opportunity to take your career forward, like help, I don't know, learning how to make TikTok videos or making an album, like that's the kind of thing it supports.
Cool.
So
It's a great program.
check it out.
That's awesome.
We made an album
awesome.
with Kat last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. A couple other people. Yeah, Jesse.
Community Arts Partnership, Strategic Opportunity Stipend.
Yeah. I hear.
Really wise stuff, etc. But one of the interesting things I think that's kind of just a cryptic thing I would say without getting too deep is, and this is as an outsider who went to Ithaca College in 87, 88, spent 25 years in New York basically and on the road and has come back here. There's a really interesting thing here in Ithaca, which is not, I think it speaks to what you were talking about, but it's a deeper thing, that there's a disconnect between what is one of the finest listening audiences in the country here and the actual gatekeepers of what's going on with the music scene. Totally different. And the answers are all there for everything.
Yeah. Wow.
Awesome.
This
This
kind
is
of big thing.
another thing for someone that plays a lot, you play classical or anyone that plays more like folk or whatever.
Sure.
Place to think about playing if you find a paid gig. The nursing homes and retirement homes,
Yeah.
they actually have a budget for it, so they'll and also an audience that won't say much and
They are extremely sweet. Yes. They're extremely sweet. Yeah. Cool. Cool.
I just wanted to quickly jump in and like tell you how great the Maker idea and proposal is. Like I don't know if you're the person to talk to
I'm not the
about that.
person, but I am
But,
like,
like,
a person who works with
If you
Maker.
can like send everybody's best wishes to the folks here.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because we have we have a bubble. Oh my God! Don't cut. I know it's scary. We have a bubble for donations for Maker. Maker Ithaca, they were so kind to let us use this space tonight, although I'm seeing very quickly that we need a bigger space. So anything that you can give is lovely.
I was
And they also have a Venmo as well, Maker Ithaca. Yeah.
Just one other quick thing. I just want to say quick before we go on. Great work by you. This presentation is awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. We have more to say here, obviously, but I just thought to interject that.
Oh, thank you.
It's so separated, unfortunately, the scenes are. I've met people tonight that I know from Facebook and have not met. And so it's really great that you did this.
Well, thank you, but I'm
Really
actually
happy.
incredibly selfish.
And literally just bringing people together and just asking questions and talking to me. It's the road to all coming together. And you know, you spoke of the old days here.
Yeah.
I know Mr. Merrill knows that too. There really is a world famous scene here.
Anyone that's
this was Pat Metheny's testing audience to come for new music.
that is
There's
wild.
so many great stories. Paul would know them really well, but the Weather Report coming here, all these great jazz groups and rock groups, and obviously dead stuff, progressive rock. So,
Oh yeah, you feel it.
yeah,
when you
and what's
walk through
happening
the
with Angry
comments.
Mom was really happening. You guys that's just great. All these other people that have been involved, I won't even try to list them, but the radio people and what you're doing with Maker is really happening.
Yeah.
A lot of people are talking about that.
Yeah. So I am incredibly selfish because I came from Asheville, North Carolina, and anyone that talks for 5 minutes to me will hear me talk about how great Asheville was, and I love it so much there. I love the scene, and the scene was really, especially when I very first moved there, the scene was super tight. Everyone knew everyone. There were house concerts. There's just such a diversity and anything you wanted to see. Just very, very cool music scene there. And I got here and I was like, I made that big post like, hey, I'm this random person coming from Asheville, North Carolina. I just got like overwhelming, like positive response. And then I got here and it was like crickets. And I was like, what's up with this scene here? What's going on? So this is to just like bring us together. I think we need more stuff like this. But anyway, I want to bring that magic of the Asheville scene here. So But all right, let's move on. If you're disabled, do you feel there are enough opportunities to see live music and perform in venues that are accessible? Wow, that's a depressing number. I sure wish there were more, and that there were more, and that they were more accessible. But I also wish we had waffle trees. My friends with mobility impairments are disgusted by the options. So we gotta be this little waffle man. Planting seeds. Thank you, clip art. I don't know. It just I don't know what we can do about that. Venues only have so much control over the space that they are inherit, but also I feel like it's really important to demand that we have more places that are friendly to people with mobility impairments. So
I think this is a huge barrier between us and our community, is the difficulties for anyone with any kinds of disabilities, including intellectual disabilities. Shows are often very late. I think that's prohibitive sometimes for people with health issues.
Yeah.
Stages are deeply inaccessible for mobility impaired people. And our parking situation in downtown Ithaca is deplorable for anyone with mobility impairment.
Absolutely.
So it really keeps people even from going to free shows downtown.
Yeah.
If they can't park or can't afford to park, or if they have to park somewhere where they can't get to the stage.
Yeah, has anyone ever tried to have a rehearsal at CSMA?
Yeah.
Even for people without impairments.
Good luck with your hand.
Sorry, I cannot find parking. See you in 30 minutes. It's
the bus system's also not reliable.
The bus?
The bus, not reliable. And I have, I've been teaching up at Cornell, and there's students there who I send them down here to do concert reports, and they love it. They're like, oh my God, there's music down here, but they can't figure out how to get back downtown. Like, to see a show on a date that's not like, they're like, oh, getting there was like part of the challenge of getting to the show and figuring out how to get back up the hill. So
it's cost preventative
crazy.
to live downtown. And it is cost preventative for folks with disabilities who live outside of downtown to get to a bus stop. The closest bus stop to my house, 12 minutes from here, is a mile. You could not get there if you had a mobility. There's no sidewalks.
In the winter, it's not.
Forget about it.
That's horrible.
I want to say there is Gatherbound. They've been really great to me for the past couple of years.
Gatherbound.
Gadabout.
And they will pick you up wherever and take you anywhere and time comes coming. So that's actually like Friday night going to 3 different shows and having Gadabout take me there, pick me up, take me to the next one.
That's excellent.
So there are ways of doing it.
To my house.
Yeah, right.
Some of the spots I know are inaccessible, like at Angry Mob, you guys are grandfathered in, right? Like, you don't have to provide anything because that's what you're told.
And we don't own the building.
Right.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, venues only have so
It was
much
the same with the range and
No, the range did not.
And another thing is, and I'm not trying to talk shit about our venue, but it wasn't supposed to be a venue. We're just offering it. Like, there's minimal parking behind us to unload. So we literally on like shows, especially if we have bands that are traveling out of town and they're like, we're coming around the corner. We run outside and like illegally put cups up that aren't ours just so they can get their stuff in. And then we have to literally walk them and show them where they can park for the night or the afternoon.
Wow.
I guess this all goes to my point of venues that accept musicians. And it's not even just the people, it's literally the buildings sometimes that accept musicians.
The thing about the bus is blowing my mind.
Oh yeah, it's not fun.
Because like we live in a college town. Like that's
The college is the problem.
sorry, but that's it is. But that's also an audience.
No, it is,
Those are you might not like it,
No,
but
they-
like they are the
exactly.
audience.
Yeah.
Like they are a part of the audience here. And that just
totally.
like
They're
blows
excited
my
about
mind.
it too.
Okay, moving on. So we have a few more slides to go here. Thank you also for being so patient. Do you have access to a lower no-cost place to practice or rehearse? You mentioned CSMA in the rehearsal space. Most have home studios, 75%. 2% said maybe, 14% said no. So this doesn't seem to be as much of an issue, but I think for the people it does affect, it affects deeply. So, yeah.
I just want to comment on that. I feel like for a lot of that 75%, that situation that they do have a space is very tenuous.
Yeah.
Because I know there have been times where I've been afforded a practice space, but it was not for a long period of time, and sometimes you have to make the most of the short time you have access to a space. So yeah, having a space can definitely be a detriment that I feel like some people need to have addressed.
Yeah, absolutely. Can someone check that Google Meet and just make sure that no one has chimed in on there? So if you go, you can check on a chat feature. I just want to make sure. Nope, no one's chiming in. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
There's also a privilege aspect in that question.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of those people are probably homeowners or know people who are homeowners.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I think that's important to name there.
That's very important.
Or have the budget to pay for
Or
rehearsal
have the budget
space.
to pay for
Yeah.
rehearsal space.
Exactly. If you're a music educator, I just have to bring it back to music educators. Do you have access to a teaching space for private or group lessons? I've had a huge problem with that. Thank you so much, Alina, again for hosting the youth rock band. That was so wonderful. It was very, very cool. Very cool program, and now it's still live. Like, it's because of you that you were able to offer that space to me. And so it's been quite a struggle for me to find another rehearsal space in town that is affordable. And so Treehouse Studios is where Alina actually let me know about Treehouse Studios, and that's where I'm at right now with my youth rock band. So we do rehearsals an hour a week on Fridays, and it's going really, really well so far. We've only had one rehearsal in the space yet, but they let me store the drums. I literally was having someone park at the UU, drop off the drums. Like, a parent would do this every single week. Can you imagine? I'd be like, kid, you need to change your instrument.
And I mean, the places set up for it are all churches.
Right.
And
Yes, exactly. Yes, and
Yeah.
the UU was very gracious to host me.
Yes.
I don't want to talk smack about
yes,
it.
correct.
But it was a barrier, and that's why I'm not there anymore. So, do you feel that you are paid well for the gigs that you do in the area? If the pay is the same as the year that Cotton Eye Joe was on the Billboard chart, kill me, please. It's horrible. 71% said no, 8% said yes, 18% said maybe. Yeah, anything about pay that you want to talk about real quick? Yeah.
I just think this is an interesting, because I think we're talking about a lot of things that are issues around the country and the world right now,
Yes.
as well as some things that are specific to Ithaca, and something that I have always sort of struggled to navigate in the 15-ish years I've been playing around here. A buddy of mine who does a little bit of regional touring, he's based closer to New York City, said to me once, "Hey man, do you know why I can get a $500 guarantee?" This is before COVID. I can get a $500 guarantee anywhere in the country, but not in Ithaca, where I went to college, and I don't understand. And I said, if I figure it out, I'll tell you. So I don't know. I don't know like what we've talked about how we have a large population of musicians for maybe the audience, certainly for currently the venues. But that's something that crosses my mind when I see that. I think right now budgets are hard for everyone everywhere,
Yes.
and it is a big picture issue, but I think there might be something specific to look at there. I don't know what it is.
Valid. Yeah. Anyone else want to chime in? Yeah.
That's what I was thinking the whole time. Maybe we could have a Ithaca Musicians Alliance Patreon,
Patreon.
That would help, I think, alleviate a lot of the issues.
Yeah.
So that would take some of the pressure off the vendors have to provide those guarantees, and that would take some of the pressure off the promoting.
But then we would need to like set up like I don't know a nonprofit status at some point, and like just to be able to like distribute those funds.
Goals.
Like
And to that effect, I don't know if it was still human. You guys around the Ithaca Musicians Union. Was there things from the new?
There used to be.
There used to be a union.
And real massive things
up
that
until
I
the
believe before.
Right now we're in the southern tier, so Ithaca is covered by the Binghamton Music Union.
Oh.
There's I mean I get hired more in Syracuse than I do. I had to join that union instead. The Binghamton Union, for whatever reason, is very closed.
But I wonder if that could be an option as well.
Well, there's some Finger Lakes one too. It's not a union, but it's some kind of group of some kind of collection of people like this. So. Not Silver Arrow. No, that's a wedding band. I can't remember. It's like Finger Lakes Musicians, blah blah blah.
Do you know if there's any interest to actually have one here locally? I'm like 802 from New York City still, but there's like in Syracuse we're like 72 or whatever, but it would be actually neat to.
A Silver Arrow?
As bad as it sounds.
So the American.
I'm like.
Here, Paul, do you know
We're already
what's
covered.
the reason why there's just one?
No, we're just covered by Binghamton. There's not enough activity in Ithaca to have our own challenge.
We
used to.
I wonder if that's true.
Not off the top of my head, but and I think the office now is in Portland.
It's great for jazz musicians.
But it's really a Binghamton union.
Wedding musicians and stuff.
But it's FM Southern Tier. I don't know what the local number is. I could look on the phone if you want me to.
Can I ask if the union is specific to the kind of gig or kind of music that you play?
No.
Okay.
No. Anyone can be a member, and they actually have a lot of really great benefits.
That's the thing.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, not like they used to in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, but there's still there's benefits there.
Yeah.
They've been sharing the trust fund and making a kind of an open market approach to actually securing trust fund money to sponsor jobs and gigs that you create yourself. It's the only thing I know that still exists that musicians have. It's a solid organization. I'm not saying it's perfect by any means. A lot of people who are in the union will tell you that there's lots of bad things going on too, but that's just the nature of organizations in general. But it does exist. And it still has a hold on a lot of the orchestra, a lot of the classical music making in schools, any things that are collaborating with BOCES. And there's still, I think Syracuse is probably more active than Binghamton in some sense. Rochester is extremely active. So it's still
with Eastman.
AFM.org.
AFM.org.
But there's a set pay for different areas that is depending on the area. So I think in Syracuse we get $75 an hour for all gigs. New York City is $183 an hour. So I mean, it's all proportionate. I mean, New York City would take you that much to get the subways.
Yeah. Cool. Interesting.
But it's really interesting. The union is a good thing. And this thing is great.
Yeah.
I just have one more thing to say, 'cause I think I know I came in late, so you please tell me if the issue has come up, or if the issue is not really an issue. But I think one of the reasons there's a question up there: why is Ithaca so different? Why can't you get a 500 guarantee in Ithaca? And I think there's something that's going on in Ithaca that we all have to be aware of, and that is every day there's 2 or 3 free shows sponsored by the universities. So you walk into this situation that's already saturated. And I think Ithaca got away with having an awesome relationship that way because people love social spaces, and that's different than what's going on right now. I think we can all come up with reasons why people aren't going out and don't enjoy each other's company in social spaces. but that has always been the foundation for community music making.
Oh.
Is that it has just more to do with the social element of going to the club as it does with the music you're listening to. And I think those of us who've been in those spaces before, wherever our interests lie, know that's the truth. So I think that's something that in Ithaca that's been missing missing for a long time and degraded slowly over time.
And that's what I was kind of getting at when I was talking about buy-in. Like, at the most foundational level, you need people to be showing up for shows. So I think whenever it happens, I think exploring the questions that are preventing people from getting out. I mean, I'll include myself in that. But yeah, like where like that disconnect between audience and, I mean, not even just going to shows, but people being aware of what's going on. Like, what are the education efforts that need to happen? Like that this group includes people who aren't musicians by virtue of the fact of what we're trying to do.
Right.
But they're also not showing up at the universities. So if you go to a concert at the university, they're depleted also.
And typically swing to the older generations that are on those lists and get the like concert dates. Honestly, that's a big thing, is actual advertisement is a thing.
And I want to add something to that. I do think that there is a resurgence happening within the next 5 to 10 years. Physical media is making a comeback. And a lot of younger kids, like Gen Z, Gen Alpha, are starved for those social environments. They are actively starting to reject the online communities for physical communities. Like we got records pressed for our EP, and I wanted that for my own vanity. And to my surprise, though, we've sold quite a decent amount for being a microscopic band. And it's a lot of younger kids are buying cassette tapes, CDs, and stuff like that. But there are not a lot of events that are really appealing to a lot of younger generations that are at least happening around town here that I can see from my perspective.
Yes.
I know I have a limited perspective, but like, at least like at my shows, our audience is getting younger, not just because I'm getting older, but I don't understand. I'm like trying to understand why this is, and there's something going on with their culture that is bringing them back to like analog life.
Oh, my youth rock band, I suggested that like as a passing joke. Okay. Oh yeah, let's do like a goth prom on Valentine's Day. And they were like, oh my god. And they are totally planning this event all by themselves. They are so excited about it.
It's because we didn't get prom because of COVID.
They're so excited about it. Yeah, so I think they are absolutely, like, I was like, okay, it's so starved for this kind of thing.
I teach the kids up the hill, or I did, about punk, and so part of the concert reviews was them making zines. They love zines. The kids love zines, and I think that part of the thing is they were like, once they know what a zine is, they're like, this is very cool. And I think part of it is the analog stuff for sure, but I think a lot of it is that there's so many events happening, and they have no idea where to go unless somebody tells them, here you go, this is where you should go.
Yes.
Is the answer, I don't know, a website, a collection, I don't know, but physical zines.
A zine street team?
Yes. Yeah, but like going to concerts, taking pictures, putting that in a zine, and then people see, oh, this is what the venue looks like. I want to go to that next time. Like, the kids actually like this shit. Just saying, physical postering, physical zining, they will pick up a thing because they're tired of looking at their phones.
That's very cute.
But I think that we could, but for real, I think it would actually be really beneficial.
So fun. No, that's actually really awesome.
And I think that something that we've just been circling around is like the death of alcohol as like the primary draw for people.
Yeah.
Like,
True that.
In my generation, like I don't know a lot of people who go to a bar and want to listen to music. Like,
that is a very real thing, yeah.
they're going to the bar and not drinking, and then the bar doesn't get the money, and then the musicians don't really see all that much profit either. So it's just like it's just a changing structure.
Well, and as like a sober person, I want to go early.
Me too.
I want to get
That's a
in my jammies.
I think that's a really big thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I think it's actually understated how important showtime is.
Yeah.
I think around here nowadays that the show times are much sooner, typically, than they used to be.
Like you were saying, like go until 2.
I mean,
and that's just not
half the gigs available in the greater area are at wineries and breweries,
Sure.
and they're going to be whether an afternoon gig or if you're lucky. For those of us that don't like early days, they might. I think of one of the gigs I currently few that I get. I think the one that starts the latest is an 8 o'clock gig.
Yeah,
it's done by 11.
Yeah,
I mean,
when I was a kid from the hardcore scene in New York, you know, nobody drank because we were straight edge. And the shows used to happen on ABC and Rio. They had a matinee, or CB's had a matinee. So, you know, there is that. You can go. I mean, that's like. So I feel like an old man saying that.
I'm down for early shows.
Well, it might have to go back to that
late
way
night,
where you
but
4 or
like
5
nobody
bands
else
rent
is.
like a DFW or a lodge of some sort and throw the show together there. And that is where it's really useful for that thing if there's enough bands in it that you can find, hey, who can we find that's got to chip in towards running the place.
And I feel like Aaron's been really, like with Practice At, you've been moving in, you've been doing a lot in that vein, and that's one of the things that I've been really interested in with what you're doing, because I didn't become a musician because I like staying out late and going to bars. I have stayed out late at a lot of bars because I'm a musician.
Yes.
So that's it. So I'm hearing a lot of things about like ideas for alternative ways to do shows and spaces, and the one pitfall that I've had thinking about that is just how overwhelming it is when you are now, in addition to playing in the band and booking the gig, and also now I'm the promoter and the sound guy and it's so collectivizing. That is a good thing. So that's
we all just want the goth prom.
Yeah.
But like really like just creative events that are maybe something a little different that don't circle. Yeah.
Just to piggyback on that, I mean, I don't want to embarrass Aaron, but some of the best shows in the last couple of years have been these impromptu under the bridge. There was a show
and sometimes under the
back
actual
of a
bridge.
pizzeria on the Commons that a lot of people did not know about, but it was packed.
I saw pictures. That was amazing.
There was a show at what buffet?
Golden Bayou.
It was just three bands that put it together. They reached out because somebody that works there, and the restaurant is struggling, and they packed. When they were loading in, they didn't have one customer for 3 hours, and they had 90 people and 70 people ordered dinner that night. And
it looks so cool.
The owner of that restaurant asked them to come back for the Lunar New Year.
Oh yeah.
I think also thinking to piggyback with the people not going to the traditional shows at bars. Because a lot of people are leaning away from that. That's also the opportunity to think outside the box. That's kind of why we started doing stuff like that, because we didn't even know if it would work, but touring bands that come in, we're like, oh, are they gonna like be depressed playing in a record store? And a lot of them started in arenas like that or environments like that, and they love it. And we had Mike Watt from the Minutemen played twice, and I bet you 80% of the people in here didn't even know Mike Watt played at Angry Mob this year.
Well, Golden Bayou is about to get a lot of emails.
So I think it's also in this small of a town is also kind of thinking outside the box where what does a venue look like?
Yeah, absolutely.
And how that's evolved.
We already have a few confirmed venues like Treehouse.
Yes.
Mama Goose's Community Space.
Yes.
Awesome.
there's potential collaboration with even like the Common Spot office spaces. NRE will be a fun one because they're also forthcoming. So, kind of have everything from like the kids to the grown-ups and kind of varying levels of adults.
Oh, it's somebody else's phone.
Okay,
I'm just making sure it's not
I
my
guess
phone.
the other issue that we're circling is, do venues actually pay dues to like ASCAP BMI, like for copyright
That's a
things?
great
Like,
question.
how do we go about? Yeah, no, totally. But I'm just like, there's
some
stores
who
hosted
bands have been.
They're supposed to.
Yeah,
I don't know if they do.
Like Sunny Days on the Commons.
Sure. Yeah.
They were just hosting somebody every month, and then somebody knocked on their door and said, "You've got to pay up."
Syracuse started cracking down on that a lot recently.
Yeah,
Even
that happened
like,
at
just
Moosewood.
like places that have been established venues there for years, like Al's Wine and Whiskey Lounge. They've been cracking down on bands about just the cover gigs there. I don't know if they're not paying the dues for that.
Can it be viewed as a private event if people are paying to get in?
That's a good question.
I don't think so.
It's about the space.
The
If you're a business space and you're playing published music, you have to pay.
Yeah, but here's the
The
thing.
farmer's market.
Even if you're playing the published music and the place you're paying the ASCAP fee, technically it's the performer's responsibility to mail in the set list to BMI so that people so that money that's been dished out to them gets to the people it's supposed to.
And this is for
I
cover
don't know
music
about
or
you, but
original
cover
music
plays
also?
hundreds of gigs. I don't think I've ever done it.
Well, original music isn't published.
$15,000 and $10,000 checks to the band,
Well, now
and
the age of Spotify
$35,000 checks to the venue while we were there playing. I've seen it actually. Personally.
Dang.
So
Yeah,
just
two
for
goats-
Fairly serious.
Two goats
But, like,
won't,
it also
won't let
can
you
help.
play there if you
Check
play
your
covers.
bills.
I mean, they literally were handing. There's a man who has a receipt, and he literally hands you a receipt, like, "Hi, I'm from ASCAP. You in the band?" And it's like that.
It's like that.
Yeah.
It's very strange. I had never seen it. I just couldn't believe it. I was like,
Where was this
literally?
at?
Because Paul talked about it. We don't hear about the
Dear
union
God.
being a thing since really the 40s. I mean, there's like Paul said, there's gigs where the union applies, but
Don't come to Ithaca.
But it also
I mean,
might get
It's a little guy.
Tony was saying about the days of Ithaca. When you go to Europe and you say Ithaca, it's what Tony described it as. That's what people think of Ithaca. In New York City, it's still thought of as this just this city on a hill kind of in terms of the original music thing. They haven't heard about the cover craze.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, and the other one
we
is
still have a
Jug
few,
Django at Moosewood.
just a few more.
That was
I
like 10
really
years
want to
ago
get through
anyway.
this. We're going to talk about solutions another time because it is 9 o'clock. So I am going to whip through these and as quickly as I can.
Haley, do you have a printout of this thing you can send to everybody?
What's that?
You have a printout or some kind of PDF?
I can make it shareable to I can just send an email. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and so I can also share I wasn't sure about this, so I want to keep everyone's responses anonymous, but also if someone wants to see everyone's response, I feel on the fence because when someone filled that out, they didn't know that information was going to be broadcast. Yeah. So
the slideshow.
That's my feeling. Yeah, and I can definitely share the stats that I collected because I made a separate spreadsheet, so I'm happy to share that.
Can you also share the slideshow?
Yes, that's what they just asked. Okay, cool. Thanks for understanding about that one. Okay, do you feel the local music scene supports BIPOC musicians? Why or not? Why or why not? Many didn't comment. A lot of people were like, hey, I have no business commenting on that. I think in spirit, yes, but in practice, it is predominantly white, or at least that's what I'm seeing at most of the shows that I attend. I think the BIPOC, the scene could be uplifting people of color in a stronger way. The scene's very white. I know there are definitely efforts being made to center people of color musicians, but I think we could be more intentional with this. And then third respondent, I'm not sure I understand what support looks like. I'm a man of color, and I'm not sure that I'm I am not sure that I am not sure I'm seeing the same access to the local scene for people of color. There seems to be a use of the same folks in that circle for publicity. Great for those of you for sure. So this is to me, this is an issue. Does anyone want to comment?
Well, we want more Black music, so.
Absolutely.
I think Ithaca is multicultural. My personal take is, and I think there's really not a problem for people to just join in, and I think there should just be, if there needs to be an effort to somehow shine a light on it, then, but I don't think there's a really big deal. Ithaca loves multiculturalism. That is for sure.
I
Right?
do think that we need to shine a light on it.
There used to be a regular weekly
Shine that light.
reggae night that the majority of everyone, the majority of the bands, the majority of people playing in the bands were people of color.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was a weekly thing up until what the dot closed. And
yeah.
Up until the wheel singer moved away.
At the start of the show moved away. Right.
I just know we all owe a debt to Black music as musicians in the modern day, because without rock and roll in the 50s, none of us probably would be here for the most part. And honestly, it's as simple as, if you are someone who is putting on a show or trying to organize something, to reach out to those individuals. And I think having that database of people who are performing and want to perform regardless of what they are performing is going to help us to be able to hold up to a higher standard.
To me, I think it's not enough to just say, well, these bands are people of color. I think there needs to be an intentional shift to showcase people of color, but that's my personal feelings on it.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's not on them to find this organization. It's on this organization to find them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyone else want to comment? Okay. So, what is your biggest concern regarding musicians in the Ithaca community? So I did my best to boil down the paragraphs that I got, but it all comes down to these 4 things. I feel: opportunities to play, support, pay, and audience. So, that's what the conversations have been. There are a lot of other words that I would include, like variety, diversity, but those were the main 4. We'll talk about solutions more as a group, but are there any cool ideas that you have to help the music scene in Ithaca that you're excited to share? I thought this was so cool. I was really excited to hear about this. I lived in Buffalo for a while, where the local music scene is thriving, though plenty of issues I imagine are similar to some here. They've been running nonprofit For Music Is Art Alliance, an initiative of Robbie Takak from the Google Dolls for a while, and it was an amazing way for me to connect to people as a new person in Buffalo. They hosted monthly workshops, a monthly songwriting group, a monthly open mic, a yearly conference, and are instrumental in putting on the Music is Art Fest, which is a weekend-long festival featuring only local musicians. Grassroots is kind of like that, but limited in terms of who they can have locally each year and what kinds of music genres they host. I'd love to see something like that here. They also orchestrated the creation of a yearly album, professionally produced and recorded, collaboratively made with musicians in the group. Cool. So yeah, I thought that was very, very cool. We're gonna talk about more. Again, I condensed all of the responses into some main ideas. So house shows, DIY gigs and venues, local music top 40 countdown, networking, music co-op, collaborating with Ithaca College and Cornell, creating unique musical experiences. Liquid State Brewing Barrel Room is a listening room that's getting going, from what I understand. Registering for the Troll Bridge. If I hadn't heard those words around town, I would be like, what? Community calendar to avoid the same genre in town. I like that a lot. More collectives, a queer club, songwriter workshops, pool the resources. Again, I want to shout out ithacamusic.net. Cancellation notices for bands. So if a band can't do a gig, there's a post and someone else can scoop it up. More jams across genre billing, arts fundraisers, better marketing, find innovative ways to encourage pay, encouraging existing businesses to have live music. Why is that not a thing? And music festival, kind of like what they were talking about on the last slide, cross promotion, music guide for Ithaca, central repository, encouraging folks to listen to local music via streaming. The Mix Art Gallery is willing to host musicians, and then some grant funding, which, yeah, that is like you have to become a nonprofit. I don't know. So, we're going. K-House. K-House is reopening at the downstairs. Yay.
And it's not just going to be karaoke. We are also keeping live music.
Yay.
The downstairs is going to be called Room K as an homage to one of our large party rooms.
The coolest room.
So,
Coolest
yeah.
with a K.
So also
Yeah.
We're going to keep it
Catalina, we're very excited. Is there anything? Well, we've covered a lot. So we're going to talk about solutions. I think we need a separate meeting in order to do that because I cannot breathe in here. But there are a couple things I want to say before we plan that. Is I need a few people that would be willing to help step up and organize the next event, where it's going to be, because we need a bigger space, when it's going to be, if we want to use the doodle poll again. So I just need y'all to come up to me or email me, and I am so happy to delegate. This was really exciting for me to do, but I want this to be in the hands of all of us, not just me. So, yeah.
May I ask a question?
Oh, yeah.
Would it be a barrier to go to Elmira? Is that too far?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I have a space for you in Elmira.
Oh, thank you for the thoughts. Yeah. Yeah.
There is a place in Elmira that just switched from being like a bar that has bands to a venue that wants to be just a venue and only be open on nights that have bands.
That's cool.
Which is great and all, but I think many of us, it sounds like, don't know enough people in Elmira to bring in a draw.
Well, I drove back and forth from the Hudson Valley last year probably 20 times, which is 3 hours one way, just to be able to do wedding gigs, which is like, that was my primary income when I lived in Asheville. So I was like, this is madness. Why am I driving back and forth from the Hudson Valley all the time? And I think if we can pool resources that are not in Ithaca but are local, I think that's a cool idea. Venues that might be willing to take us, like in Geneva, or venues that might be willing to take us in Syracuse. I think that's fine. Yeah.
Sorry. Were you talking about a venue space or a meeting space?
Both.
Oh.
Venue's not too far.
Yeah, venues
had to clarify that.
Yeah.
I was just saying, I don't know if we would be able to offer it every time, but next meeting or two, we can definitely have it in.
Yay, thank you so much. And thank you so much for showing up. Yeah, that's very, very cool.
You come out and give us the stairs thing,
Yo,
that's something for us.
That's right. Yes.
I'll carry you up there.
Well, we can.
There,
if it's after hours, which that would make sense, we could have it on the main floor in autumn leaves.
Okay.
So
Oh,
we
that's
wouldn't have to go up the steps.
Surrounded by
to the top
books.
of
That would be awesome.
We can't have shows down there.
I mean, I did
No,
have a
that would
gig
be
in the
super
library
cool.
once.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All
It
right,
was the
y'all.
music
Thank
library,
you
so
all
there's
so
an
much.
amazing- I think we were the first and only
I
band.
think it was a successful first meeting.
Yeah.
So we're going to take some of these issues and talk solutions next time so we don't feel so